talk about a kind of interesting subject, I find, amongst foreigners in Korea, and it seems like something that we've all had problems with at some point because you're moving to a new culture and you're trying to get acclimated and getting used to all the food and everything that is just so different. So this video is going to be about how I, specifically me, how I lost weight in Korea. When I was back in America, I would never say I've ever had problems with my weight. I would say the heaviest I've ever been is maybe 150 pounds. And the lightest I've ever been is about 125. On average, I would say in America, I was between 140 and 145 pounds usually. So when I came to Korea, it was like a big culture shock, and I actually ended up losing a lot of weight. I lost about 10 pounds. And I actually stayed pretty steadily at about 130 for a long, long time. And then winter hit, and everything went to crap. I probably gained the 10 pounds back, went back to around 140. I was having asthma problems. I was really depressed. Winter made me sad. So when April came around, I wanted to lose the weight again. I wanted to get back to my healthiness. So I got this app. It's called My Nets Diary. And I use it every day. You can track down your meals, you can track down your weight, your exercise, everything. And I mostly use it as kind of a guidance thing. I do write in it like religiously, even on days when I don't eat that well. Mostly because it's given me a really, really good perspective on what I was eating that was so bad for me and how to fix it. I didn't realize that some things were way more calories than I could have ever imagined, that I was putting in my body on a regular basis, and it was making me tired and unhappy. So I guess tip number one would be start watching what you eat. Literally, write down everything that you put in your mouth, write down the caloric content, just so that you can get a feel of what is good for you and just how much you're eating. Number two would be, for me, I am always drinking things now. And I actually found this winter I got kind of dehydrated. After my meals, usually, I'll drink just a ton of water. Like, I always have water with me. I always have some kind of like coffee or tea. I will sometimes cut a lemon in half and put that in boiling water for kind of a lemon tea thing because it's supposed to promote your digestive tract. And just being able to constantly drink things has really, really helped me figuring out when I'm truly hungry and when I'm just thirsty. Because it's easy to confuse those two, especially since when you're in Korea, you'll notice they don't give you water with your meals. They don't. Like, even in my school's cafeteria for the teachers, we have like a teacher's lounge cafeteria where we all go to eat. There are literally no cups, let alone like water dispensers in our cafeteria. Just nothing. So they just flat out don't drink water with their meals half the time because they say it's bad for digestion. It's easy to go like the whole day without realizing you've only had like a tiny cup of water. So definitely try and drink more water, drink more coffee. Well, be careful with coffee, of course, but drink more tea, drink more lemon water, all of that. Keep yourself from getting dehydrated because it's really easy here, especially in winter when the air gets so dry. Number three would be cutting your portions. And this, I find a lot of the foreigners I've talked to who are having issues with their weight right now, they blame it all on rice, which I'm sure is true. And I thought something similar when I first got here. I was having a little bit of issues with my weight, like trying to figure out where I was, and I was like, oh, I want to lose weight. So what I started doing is I cut my rice portion in half. So when all my co-teachers around me are getting like a huge glob of rice, they always give you rice in the cafeterias. I take half of what they take. And it would actually amount to about maybe 4 to 5 tablespoons every lunch I would eat of actual rice. The other thing is I actually don't eat bread, but that's because I'm allergic to it. So yeah, that does help. It's definitely instead just figuring out how much I was eating and realizing that my body didn't actually need all of that to give me plenty of energy, especially since Korean food is actually pretty healthy. You don't have to completely get rid of all rice. A huge part of Korean food is rice. You're missing out on so much. So just eat less of it. In general, if you eat less of the exact same things that you're eating, you will lose weight. Number three would be what you're putting in your body. I do not eat bread. That's because I'm allergic to it. It gives me asthma symptoms, so obviously I don't eat it. The second thing would be I don't eat refined sugar. Every once in a while, I might go down to like the convenience store and get like a popsicle if I'm really, really feeling it. But for the most part, I don't eat chocolate. I don't eat candy. I pretty much just don't eat any of it. I've kind of retrained my taste buds. And in general, actually now, when I do eat sugary foods, I find that I get very jittery, I have like a lot of energy, and then I just crash really, really hard. For example, on 4th of July, I was like, oh, I should celebrate. So I got some, chocolate, and I had some ice cream, and I ate it, felt super, super jittery, and then I literally ended up just passing out of my bed at 7 o'clock in the night, woke up at 10:30, screwed up my sleep schedule, felt really, really groggy. After a while, you will notice if you take it out of your diet and then try reintroducing it, pay attention to how it treats you and how your body reacts to it. My body obviously hates refined sugar, so I don't eat it. It makes me feel groggy, it makes me feel gross. Same thing with junk food, I don't eat it. I don't eat chips. I don't eat basically anything you can buy at the convenience store other than Jell-O packets and yogurt, I don't buy. Number 5 would be walking more and just in general exercising. This winter, I really didn't want to go outside because it was just cold, cold, cold. I don't like cold weather. I've never liked cold weather. I'm a cold-bodied person. So I was not anywhere near as active as I usually am. I go on walks a lot, and I'll go for a walk that's maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Occasionally I might jog in that walk, but mostly it's just for leisure. And especially in Korea, Korea is so walk friendly. Any hour of the day, any place, you could probably walk there if given enough time. So I really, really suggest find an activity that you like. I also take belly dancing lessons. It's not like a rigorous workout, but it does help me with my flexibility and my strength and my core. So I do find that just finding things to keep me active and out of the house and away from food, or away from boredom. Even studying Korean, if you're not bored, you're way less likely to reach for something you really shouldn't be eating when you're not even that hungry. The last thing, number 6, would be don't cut out everything. Like I said, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat refined sugar, I don't eat bread, and I don't eat junk. But every once in a while, a holiday, or if my teacher gives me something, my co-teacher gives me a present, or things like that, I might have a little piece of dok, or which is Korean rice cake. Or I might have a tiny thing of frozen yogurt, or even a little bit of, for me, my vice is mixed nuts, because they're just so high in calories and I love to eat them. I can eat an entire jar of mixed nuts if you give it to me. Anyway, don't completely restrict yourself, otherwise you're gonna end up hating your diet, hating everything, and not being able to maintain it in the long run. So yeah, do have a popsicle every now and then, just don't do it every day. Once a week, maybe 2 times a week if your weight allows it, if you've reached your goal and you're maintaining in a really strong kind of way. But keep an eye on it, I do weigh myself every day now. I try not to get obsessive about it, I only do it once in the morning. And that kind of just gives me a general idea of what I need to eat for the day and where I am in my weight maintenance kind of schedule. So that's basically how I did it. Let me think. When I first started, let me put it in kilograms for some of y'all. I was 62.2 kilograms when I started, and now I'm 58.2 kilograms. So I basically went from a size large to kind of pushing a little bit more into the large, to a size medium in Korea, which is really, really nice. I'm happy with that. I am 5'10", so I definitely don't really want to go below 58 kilograms because that's getting a little too skinny for my tastes, and I guess American in me wants to have a little bit of something, So I don't want to lose any more weight. I do find that in general Korea does pressure you a little bit to be really thin. A lot of the girls here are very, very thin, but I try to remove myself from that and remind myself that when it comes down to it, I'm not Korean, and I don't have to fit into their standards. I have to fit into my personal standards of what I think is attractive and what I like to be, how my body feels. I have been less weight than I am right now before, and I find that it makes me more tired and just really hungry and distracted. So 130 usually is my happy weight, and I don't want to go above or below that. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments below, and yeah, I guess if you are curious, I'll let you see my weight, I guess. Ta-da! I know, I put on this shirt just for y'all. But these are the same shorts that I wore in my Happy Dance video a while back, if you couldn't notice. And I couldn't even fit in these in the beginning of April. So it's really, really nice that I actually have a little bit of give now. So yeah, that's how I lost weight in Korea, and I will see